No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. And today I'm here with the coolest producer in the world, or at least one of Murda Beatz in the building.
Definitely one of.
One of. Mm-hmm. Who's the coolest producer in the world?
I don't know. Probably me.
Probably me. I hear that. Yo, you know what? I was thinking about it earlier. I think that there's a reason why the world is so fascinated by Murda Beatz. Because there's the average rap kid, think about it. It lives in the middle of nowhere, fascinated by the game, but feels like there's no possible way for them to get in the game.
100%.
They look at Murda Beatz and they're like, he's not so different from me, but he's lit. And everybody fucks with him. All these lit rappers are out here just fucking with him like he's their day one.
No, that's some real shit. That's 100% because like where I'm from Niagara Falls. I grew up in a town of 40 or 30,000 people. When I go home now and I always see people on Instagram hit me up and shit, it's like kids that were in my situation 8 years ago that are now making beats, trying to rap, do all this shit. Before that, there was no one trying to make beats like in music, that type of music and stuff, you know?
Right.
So I definitely like inspired a lot of people to like take this journey and path of a music career, you know?
Talk to me about you as a young man, though, before you even really got into the music and stuff. What were you like in like elementary school, shit like that?
I was like, I just felt like I was different from everyone. Like I'm left-handed. I couldn't skate. So like I couldn't play hockey like everyone else in Canada. I'm left-handed. I couldn't fucking cut paper with right hand, like with scissors and like when I was in grade 3 and shit.
That's
and
awesome.
I told my mom, I was like, I feel like I'm just different from everyone. Like I just feel like I'm different. I always said that to my mom. And then even like I never wanted to get a job, never wanted to work for nobody. Like
Same.
I was like selling like weed and shit in high school.
I feel like I'm listening to somebody talk about myself because that's like exactly.
I didn't want to work for nobody. I didn't want to do none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
No, I think that's really important because you remember that Kanye song, "Everything I'm Not made me everything I am."
Yeah.
You know, it's like I feel like the reason why I am where I am is partially because I fucking sucked at sports because I knew I wasn't gonna be a rapper, knew I wasn't gonna be able to do that. And like when you're not good at certain things, it could force you to sort of rely on different areas of personality, which is really interesting.
No, 100%. So I was like, I don't know, I started playing drums when I was like 4 or 5 years old, going to my uncle's house.
Oh, wow.
And I was always just playing drums and stuff. My dad, RP, my pops, they always wanted me to play guitar. But I'm left-handed, so it's like I can't just like pick up your guitar and start playing guitar if I play it like upside down like Jimi Hendrix or some shit.
Right.
But, you know what I'm saying? I was like playing drums, beating on drums. It was fun, you know? Started like putting on headphones, listening to music, just taught myself how to play along the songs and shit, you know? And then just like one day my boy from school showed me Fruity Loops. I was like, this shit's kind of fire. I was like making beats. They were complete garbage. Hacked that shit, put that shit on my computer.
Were you already
I put it on my
interested,
parents' desktop. I put it on my parents' desktop. I was in grade like 11, I think. Or like summer of grade 11 going into grade 12 or something like that. I was like 16 or 17 when I started making beats. So I cracked that shit on my parents' desktop computer. You know them old ass computers?
Yeah.
Started banging shit out like that. And then I was like, man, fuck it. I bought a laptop. And then I traded my drum set for a Kai MPK 49 keyboard at Guitar Center. Even swapped it. I was like, fuck it.
Holy shit.
And then just started making beats all the time. Like I knew like the first beat I made, I knew this is what I wanted to do for the rest of my life.
Wow, really?
It's crazy. And they were trash too. And I was like so cocky because like I'm like, you gotta think of it. In my head, it's like I found my career. And I'm in high school, everyone's going to guidance, like, yo, like you need to do this with your life. You need to do that. I was gonna go to school for business because I like money. I want to make money.
Did that exit your brain as soon as you found out about making beats? Wow.
So, yeah.
That's crazy. So what was the first hip hop that you heard that got you excited in the first place?
Probably hearing like some like 50 Cent or like some Eminem at like my uncle's house. And then just like being at home, like walking, like my mom had on like MTV or like music videos and stuff, just seeing just like Hate It or Love It. When I saw that music video, I was like, damn, this shit's crazy. Like, this is hard. Like, this beat's hard. Like, and then just like seeing like, obviously like seeing like just everything, like Cash Money, just seeing all that shit. I remember seeing that shit too.
Yeah.
Pop Bottles, all those videos and shit. Just like, it was cool.
When you were starting to make beats though, was there any producer that you had already noticed that you were like, I want to be like that dude?
So like, I started really liking trap music. I really wanted to make trap music. I'm like, yo, these beats are fire. So like at the time, like the whole BSM Brick Squad Monopoly wave was at like it's like super high, right? So like Waka Flocka, Slim Duncan, all the R.I.P. Slim Duncan, you know what I'm saying? He was like my favorite rapper. I'm like, damn, I gotta make beats for these guys. So I started making beats, and that's like, and like that was like Lex Luger and like Southside and them, but like it was mainly like Lex Luger. I was like, yo, it's just hard. I was like watching his videos, how he's making beats and stuff. I want to make trap beats, so that's what I did.
So there were YouTube videos that they had out that sort of gave you an idea what to do already at that point?
Yeah, just like watching videos. Like he's like Lex Luger, how to roll a blunt. Lex Luger, how to make a beat. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just watching all those videos. Like, okay, this is dope.
That's sick.
Like trap beats. So then
it's crazy to think that you might have been somebody that just straight up wouldn't have had the opportunity to even learn this shit because you just straight up wouldn't have even known anyone who even would have had that knowledge if you had been born 10 years earlier. Because it wouldn't have just been like, you wouldn't have had access to enough information. And even you then, you still had to like figure out how to put it together. It wasn't just completely laid out there. Like now there's even 100%. More resources available. So if a kid wants to start making beats, it's even easier to jump in, right?
If it was 10 years earlier, I probably would have had to like get access to it, find someone who had access to a studio, to go to the studio, to get a job at a studio, to start to learn the hardware, to like, it would have just been like, I don't know.
Would have been crazy. It might have kept you away from it, although you might have still figured out that you wanted to get involved.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have figured it out.
That's crazy to think about.
I think this is everything. Everyone's life is, you're destined to be who you are. So I would have figured it out either way.
You could have been, like nowadays it feels like it would be almost more likely for you to just go and become like a Fortnite kid if you were just some kid that was spending time looking into shit on the internet.
I would have definitely been a professional and Major League Gaming gamer or some shit. And sold weed still.
And what's crazy is that in this,
something like that.
In this
I love video games, man.
Right.
Video games and that's the thing though. Making beats is like a video game. It's like, you know what I'm saying? If I'm good at video games and I know how to play video games and I know music and I start making beats and then I know music already and then making a beat is like a fucking video game.
That's how it feels to you?
Kind of. I don't like it's software. It's a program. You know what I'm saying?
But but it doesn't feel like a video game because there's no specific objective. But the objective is just to get what you're building from nothing to something really dope.
The objective is to like draw patterns.
Yeah.
And shapes, and then it becomes a hit.
Right.
If you look at if you look at the piano roll, like you just draw shit. Sometimes like it looks like it's like music is like patterns. Like everything, like you click in your drums, everything is patterns. Music 1 2 3 4, 1 4, this that. You know what I'm saying? It's like a science.
Yeah.
I'm like a scientist.
You are. You're like a chemist. You're more like a neighborhood like meth head type chemist. You know.
I'm not a meth
head. Not meth head, but a meth like dealer. You know.
Meth dealer.
You're like the dude in Breaking Bad posted up in the RV in the middle of the desert, just cooking some shit up.
He's cooking up beats, man. It's Young Murda.
He might have been. Actually, Rich the Kid already took that concept for a video.
That was a hard concept, too.
We can't steal it again, yeah.
Shout out, Rich.
So how'd you start building connects? Like, obviously, making the music itself is one part of the problem, but then the other part of the problem is the fact that nobody knows you and that you have to get your shit into people's hands. How'd you start attacking that problem?
So first, I started with the YouTube shit, started doing type beats. Chief Keef was hot at the time. I put out Chief Keef type beats, so my shit pops up before everyone else's shit. And you know what I'm saying? Shit like that at first. And then that's how I started building like Murda Beatz as a name in like the producer community and stuff. So that's how I built like my YouTube, my Twitter, my Instagram, my all that shit, I guess.
Yeah.
And then from there, like around that time was like when the drill music was popping. So I was like, yo, like I got to get into this drill wave. I got to go to Chicago. So I went on D Gain's YouTube page. Remember D Gain's, the guy who shot all those videos?
That's crazy.
I went on D Gain's YouTube page and found this guy named Kill Bill. I'm like, yo, he was dope. I thought he was a dope rapper from Chicago. So I hit him up, and then I built a relationship with him over a couple months. And then I flew out to Chicago to meet him and get in the studio with him and shit.
How was that?
These guys had me in the hood.
I bet.
Shit, I was like, I should not be here. But I was like 17. Like, I didn't care. Like, I really wanted this shit. And, like, I was doing anything. Like, my mom was like, what are you doing? Like, and shit. But it was like, I really had to do this shit. Like, I really put everything into it. Like, I wouldn't tell a young kid nowadays, like, yo, go to Chicago and the Wild 100s and all this shit. I would not tell you to do that. Because it's like, looking back, it's like, damn, I was fucking reckless. Like,
right.
You know?
That's crazy. It's amazing that it actually worked out. Did you start building connections from there, or like did you make
like
anything
from there?
memorable
Then I met like most of the GBE guys in person and stuff, and then I started working with Chief Keef and stuff like that. And then like my tool was always like, then if I start working with Chief Keef, I'm hitting everyone on Twitter saying I'm Chief Keef's producer because he's hot right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So then boom, that's how I got like the Migos attention. And then like I hit up Skip and I was like on Instagram because I'll go on, I'm not Twitter. I'll go on Twitter and I would hit up like, if I want to get to the Migos, I'll type in YRN and then I'd find like their boy with YRN in his name and hit him up trying to get to the Migos. And that was Skip.
Go look at who they're following.
That was Skip. And
Right.
then I hit up him and I'm like, yo, Offset was locked up at the time. I was like, yo, I'll give you beats to use for yourself if you just play my shit for Quavo and Takeoff.
Right.
And he's like, well, I'm not even like, he wasn't even rapping at the time. He was just always around them, so he played my beats for them and they fucked with it.
Wow. That's crazy. You know, that is a really interesting part of the conversation that we kind of see happening, not just in production, but in general, is like, should you work for free to get yourself into the position to be able to someday be able to ask for a check?
I'd rather, at the beginning, like you have to work for free.
Yeah.
And you have to know your worth too. Like I knew what I wanted to be, so I didn't settle for less and make a sound click and put on my beats for 99 cents a beat. Because that's just like stunting your growth. Then you see people, there's like big artists out here that get hot, that pop up off a beat that the label ended up buying for $100 for the master. And then that producer is frustrated and doesn't know how to make money.
Right.
So it's like, you got to really know your worth and you got to sacrifice. People don't know how to sacrifice nowadays. Everyone just wants everything.
And it's crazy because it's like if you were to go and work for some big corporation and they were going to be like, yo, we're not going to pay you for the first couple years, but then eventually you'll be able to get paid. It would sound so fucked up. In the rap game, the truth is like if you really want to get in there and you don't have any connections and shit, it's like you're just going to have to basically be around, be the dude who's available, who's down to put in the work, and you're going to have to be able to be willing to do it for next to nothing for a long ass time,
Man,
right?
me and the Migos dropped Emmett Smith in 2016, and I remember that was the first video ever that I had on like MTV and like BET and shit, and everyone thought I was rich, and I was broke as shit.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
When it came, did it take you a while to figure out how to structure your agreements with artists and stuff, or did it take a while for you to feel like you even had the
100%.
leverage to ask?
I didn't even know how. Like, you know, I didn't even know because I was selling beats to kids on PayPal. I was selling beats to kids on Western Union. I started selling so much beats off YouTube on Western Union that they flagged my shit for fraud and they started holding up my money and shit. Cause like I never wanted to send snippets either, cause I knew people could just loop up a snippet and rap on the beat. So I'd be like, yo, you have to send half the money or the whole money up front, and then I'll send you a couple beats to pick from.
Right.
So it's like worth my time.
That's really interesting. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy because nowadays, and I don't know if you ever went to such extents, but it's like there's so many weird, shady ways that young producers will try to get their shit in front of you. Like, for instance,
Instagram comments.
Having bots. Is that me?
That shit's
Holy
crazy.
shit, that's me. It's never me. Today it was me.
That shit's crazy. I don't know, man. But hey, like you gotta look too. Like that shit could work too because like Rick Ross found Meek Mill off Twitter.
Really? But I mean, Meek Mill was probably already like pretty decently well known at that point.
And
But
he wasn't spamming them.
the kids who have
The
the
spamming
bots,
shit's too much, man. Y'all gotta stop this shit. Real shit. It's like, oh my god. Like, I just try to think that like people really think that like if you spam somebody, that shit. But hey, that shit could work. I can't knock nobody's hustle. I forget what kid, but I saw like Complex made a whole write up on a kid who spammed people's comments.
Right.
And the producer got a little write up.
was
So
the
it's
Beats
like,
by Safe kid?
Yeah.
The kid who kept beefing with
so.
Perp and shit?
I think so.
Oh, God. He's going to clip this,
Perp,
put it on
please
his
pay him,
Instagram. He tried to call
No, I'm
Perp out at
joking,
South
bro.
by Southwest last year, too.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's so funny. Now, you know what's the worst thing ever is when I'll see a video that I'm tagged in, and there'll be some girl with a huge fat ass. I'll be like, click on it. I'm just watching the ass shake. All of a sudden, I realize 30 seconds gone by, and I'm listening to this garbage ass song, and I realize that's what it's just an artist promoting his shit.
Instagram's the devil.
Damn. But I mean, but it's a weird decision to be made right there because on one hand, yes, that might for some people, I guess, be the only way that they're going to be able to make any kind of connections today. But then at the same time, it's totally like dirtying your name for people to remember you that way, right?
You're always gonna be that kid who was just in the comments, just going crazy.
Were you ever nervous being around people like Keef and Migos and shit at first? Like, you know, the way that you describe it, like it's so casual and it was so easy for you to just meet them and start working with them all the time. The average kid listening to this is like, what the fuck? I want to be able to do that.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't easy, you know? And I wasn't nervous. I was shy. like I was like 18, 17, like I was like a shy kid still, and like in like uncomfortable environments where like I don't know anybody. I'm from Niagara. I'm like now the only white kid.
You don't understand half the shit
I do
they're
a whole
saying.
trip in Atlanta, go back, I'm like, damn. I just like think in my head, like, damn, I was like the only white kid.
They got all kinds of crazy slang. You're just trying
Just
to figure
everything.
out what the
So
fuck
it's just
they're
like it's
talking
not. It's
about.
just like it's just different. Like it's just like throwing you in the deep end. Like, yo, this is what you want to do, go get it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I feel like nowadays, they're not willing to do what other people aren't doing.
Right.
They want to sit there in the comments and spam like everyone else. But it's like, how are you gonna be the lucky person, or how are you gonna be prepared for the opportunities to be able to actually make it, you know?
Did you have times where you were doubting yourself or doubting the plan, where you were like early on, where you were like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make this shit work?
Not really, honestly. Like I like really wanted to do this and was really motivated, and I had everyone talking shit at me at school. Everyone was making fun of me.
Really?
Teachers made fun of me. Principal told me there's only one Dr. Dre, not to do this as a career path. That shit, I was so mad, and like I was like, damn, this is crazy.
That is so offensive.
Like, but when all odds are against you, you know what I'm saying? That's like when it's gonna pay off the most.
Right.
So,
When did you
keep
feel?
grinding.
When did you feel like it started to come together? Like when did you sort of turn a corner with it?
After like I'd say like after pipe it up. Pipe it up is like, that's like when I like, cause like, you know what I'm saying? I was like I started staying with the Migos from time to time, going on the road with them.
Right.
And I was always like, if I go to a show with them, like I was so heavy like into like building my brand. Like when I would go to a show with them, after the show, I would go to the tag on Instagram, and I would like everyone's video of like seeing a bit of me on stage, so they would follow me after the show. And like every time I would drop a song on a mixtape, I would like look up that song and retweet and like everyone's shit, so they'd follow me. So I was always like constantly like building my brand, you know?
Yeah, early on, I used to do all that shit. I used to respond to every Facebook message, all that shit.
You had to, you know what I'm saying? You got to get every fan counts, and it still does.
Yeah.
You know?
It just at a certain point, it's become so big that it's like you can't respond to every DM.
I don't want to respond to one person because then everyone feels entitled.
Everybody else in their hometown.
Everyone will be like, wow, he talked to him. Why didn't he talk to me?
Right.
And they start hating and shit, so.
That's crazy. When you're on those tours and stuff, like, well, even just being able to go on tour, even just like them being down to put you out there in their perspective, because there's a million motherfuckers who've done beats for Migos, but Migos don't like really acknowledge them besides like paying them for the beat or whatever. It's like, how did you sort of like even get into the position? Because I feel like that's the dream of every producer, is to create like a real personal brand where they're actually like able, like people know their name, people know what they look like, people know what their whole vibe is and who they are as a person. And you got that. Like how did you get like somebody like Migos, who don't fuck with people very rarely, they just are very closed off?
Yeah, at the beginning, like they only had like a couple producers they were fucking with. They had like Zaytoven, Phenom the Don, Stack Boy, Mac Boy, and me. And everyone was from Atlanta, and I kind of got like, I just feel like I connected with them before the wave. So it's like when they started blowing up and shit, I'm like, damn, like I remember when they started blowing up, I'm like, yo, these guys might just like go Hollywood on me. I don't like, you know what I'm saying? Because all that Hollywood shit, you don't know like until like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a young kid from Canada. I don't fucking know what the fuck's gonna happen. These guys just blew up. I'm like, fuck, you know what I'm saying? But they always kept in contact, and they remember me. I was like, damn, like that's some real shit. That's loyalty. You know what I'm saying? And then when I got in front of them, and then we started actually building that relationship, it just went a long way. And you know what I'm saying? Guys like Rel and guys like Quavo and people like that, they always looked out for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Coach and P, everybody.
I feel like a lot of it straight up has to do with just your personality, period, and not just for you, but for anybody, in the sense that like you have to be somebody that people are going to want to be around. You got to know how not to say that one thing that's going to make you look like an entitled dickhead. That, you know, like there's probably a million times that you could have just sort of been a salty fuck about something and like pissed them off and like ruined a relationship. You know, it's like so much of it is just your personality straight up.
Nah, for real. And like just like a lot of the time I'm like a sponge on the wall too. You know what I'm saying? I won't speak unless spoken to, so I'm just playing my role, you know?
Has it been weird getting famous?
I don't think I'm famous.
You're pretty damn famous. You go to the mall, people are talking to you.
I don't know. I didn't, like, when I started making beats and doing this shit, I never really thought about this shit. And now it's kind of just like, it is what it is, you know? Like, you reap what you sow, like, you know what I'm saying? You wanted to do this, now you're doing this. You're like, fuck, And whatever comes with it, it's like, you know what I'm saying? That's what it is. So,
yeah. I mean, you don't really know what you're getting into in the sense that you don't really know what it's.
I just wanted to make
like.
music for a living. That's
Right.
the only thing I was thinking of, is like being known for the music I make and inspiring people's lives and doing that, you know, and helping my family and being something, not just being the kid that goes to high school and then now you're just sitting where you're from, working a 9 to 5. I didn't want to do that.
Yeah, what are most people that you grew up with doing?
Working a 9 to 5 in the same town.
Yeah, at best.
But yo,
Or
you
drunk
could
off their ass in the park.
Everyone could. Hey, you could be happy in any situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're probably more happy than we are.
You think?
Never know.
That ever crossed your mind that you might have been happier if you lived a normal life?
Maybe, I don't know. I love the life I live, so
You
fuck it.
you wouldn't know shit about the life that you're living. You know, it's like the average person doesn't have any clue what it's like to even be in Hollywood. Never mind to know the right shit to do in Hollywood. Never mind to like what it's like to go on tour.
It's just like when you do shit like this, it's like it's hard to tell what's real and fake. Everything's blurred lines when you get into a situation of when people want to fuck with you. So it's like you don't know what's real and what's fake, and sometimes that could be tricky, get you into problems, get into situations, and it could fuck up your happiness because you don't know who's being real, who's being fake.
You ever
At
let
least when you work a 9 to 5 or some shit, or like I'm not even gonna say that. Just like when you're living a life with a family and you grow up and you know what I'm saying, like how you do that style of living, it's like you know who's real and who's fake and shit, you know? Or like you surround yourself with the right people.
Do you think you
I feel like I surrounded myself with the right people though.
Yeah. I mean, your team does seem pretty good, to be real with you.
We're great people.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Did you ever get too open and start letting random ass weird clout munching type people get too close to you and then you had to realize at a certain point that that you had to be more closed off?
Not really. Honestly, that happens a lot though. Honestly, probably in LA, hell yeah, that's definitely happened. You meet someone at a party, next day they're at your house, and you're just like, what the fuck is this person doing around me? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, they don't want to leave?
But I don't know. I feel like I'm good at reading people. I'm good at reading vibes and shit. Like if I trust my gut, so if I feel something's off somewhere, it's like it's time to go. Or like if I feel like I can see through people, so it's like, what the fuck is it like?
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You're a good guy, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that. We got good intentions at least, you know?
Yeah, you know?
Yeah, I appreciate that. You ever talk to anybody from your hometown? You still close with anybody from back home?
Oh yeah, I talked to like some of my boys, only a couple.
Yeah. Is it kind of odd? They're kind of shocked by what you've managed to do?
Like the few I talked to like believed in it. So it's like, yo, I actually did it.
That's tight.
And you know, people don't like that. Like my one boy would tell, oh, like people like don't believe I know you and shit. Like it's crazy. Like people stop my mom in the grocery store and tell my mom like they make beats now and shit. Like,
Oh my God.
My mom's like, you know.
I remember my dad gave me a mixtape one time from this person at work. Their son had a tape. He gave me his tape. He mailed it to me. Like my dad thought I was gonna give a shit. I'm looking at this. It's like the worst graphics design. It's like so much worse than anything I've ever seen online. I put it in. It was so much worse than anything I've ever heard sent in by a fan or whatever. I was just like, damn. People who don't know how to use the internet really don't know what the fuck's going on.
Sometimes people give me like USBs of beats and I delete them and use them.
That's the realest thing anyone's ever said on this podcast. I feel like most people don't want to admit to that shit. Yeah.
Sometimes I listen to them, but
you ever find anything good that way?
I used to be that kid. I used to fucking get the USB, put 10 beats on it, with little info, contacts. Never fucking worked. Real shit. That shit never worked.
Yeah. No,
but
that's
like
so
it could
real.
work. That's what I'm saying. Like anything's possible. So like if I'm giving someone advice and I say what I did and what didn't work for me, I'm not saying don't do that because it could work for you. You know what I'm saying? But that just did not work for me.
Yeah. I don't know.
Did not give that shit to fucking Rich Homie Quan, Wiz Khalifa, all these guys. They did not.
That's what they really want you to do.
They probably lose the shit by the end of the night. You put it in your pocket. You go party and shit. A bitch might even just fucking steal it. You never know. She might think she's hitting the lick. She just stole this guy's beat that was in the crowd. So
imagine she stole the USB from you and she thought she had a bunch of your unreleased beats.
Yeah, shit.
Some random guy.
I've had like unreleased music on sticks. Like when I go to the club, play some shit in Toronto, I've like lost them in Ubers.
You never had a problem with it showing up online though?
No. I've had like music leak online, and then everyone thinks I leaked it.
Why do they think it's you?
Because I used to leak the Migos music.
Did you really? On purpose?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Why would
like
you do
back
that?
In back in the day, like I would like I would like take songs off their computer because they would never give me shit. So I'd like take songs off their computer like when no one was around or like when they were sleeping or whatever. I'd like take the songs off the computer so I could listen to them when I go home. Because if I go back to Canada, I don't know like when I'm coming back to Atlanta, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then I just end up that like whenever like I was always trying to build my consistency. So if they weren't gonna use the song, I would just drop it on my SoundCloud and the blogs would pick it up, or like I'd premiere it with XXL or premiere it with Hot Hip Hop or
But
something.
was this before the era in which people
Streaming?
they would have got pissed off about that? Because I feel like if you do that now, they'd be furious.
Yeah, now it's the streaming changed everything. It's
Yeah.
like before, it's like that was dope. It was like releasing a song, like that was helping my consistency and building my brand. I was building my own brand, leaking music. Real shit. I'm sorry.
But you never had to deal with like ramifications from that, like
No, because it was always like I would always know like if it was a song like they were using or something, I would, you know what I'm saying. But if it was just like some shit I would want to listen to, and then like 6 months go by and like these guys make 30s like so many songs. Like I have like probably like 1,000 songs with the Migos, you know. So it's just like let's drop some shit. Fuck it.
How do you decide who you want to work with these days? Because it feels like you have hella options. You've done a lot of like joint projects where you're like billed as one of the performers, just like the rapper.
If I become a fan of your music, or like if I feel like you're ahead of the wave, you know what I'm saying? Like that was like the thing with the Migos. Like when I first heard their music, I was like, yo, this is different. Like it was cool. I didn't 100% get it at first, but I was like, this is really like unique and different, and I know this is gonna be the next wave. So then I started playing it all the time. Like this shit's fire. Like, you know.
That's what's crazy though, is that people assume that just because an artist is huge right now, and Migos is like the biggest group in hip hop right now, they assume they forget that you were fucking with them early on, like before they were really. You know, I see people all the time who are like, you know, Adam's a clout muncher. He just started fucking with X and Pump because they're hot or whatever. I'm like, I was fucking with them before they were hot.
Yeah.
You know, it's like people forget. Once somebody blows up, people act like they always were that big.
Real shit.
It's weird. So who do you choose? Oh, so you're saying like you just do a lot of like reaching out via DMs, shit like that?
Yeah, or I really like to wait like for shit to happen organically too. Like even if someone's like, yo, you got to work with this person, sometimes I'll be like, I was like, I know it will happen organically, you know, and then it happens organically.
How do you normally meet people though? Are you out and about? You go to shows, go to clubs, shit like that?
Not as much anymore. I kind of just like duck off and be low key and shit. But yeah, definitely like when you go out and shit, you meet people.
Right.
You know, or like even in the studio, you bump into people in the studio, find out this guy's next door, go say what up, drop off a pack of beats.
Yeah. That's what's up.
A lot of people like reach out now though, you know, like I'll reach out to someone or they'll reach out to me or like through like mutual friends or something, you know.
Do you have like managers and shit who are basically like trying to like pitch you artists? Or
Yeah,
like
I got my manager Corey.
Yeah, but he's helping you find artists and shit?
Yeah, all the time.
That's what's
so
up.
like after like the whole like the Pipe It Up stuff, and that's like when I met Corey, and then we went out to LA for the first time, and that's like when like a lot of shit went off.
That's what's up. Yeah. You trying to sign artists now as well?
All that.
You got some dude Adam that I was just seeing his shit popping up saying that you signed him.
Yeah, I got Adam Holiday. He's fire.
Really?
He's from the UK. Grew up in Philly. He's got a cool story.
Really? Okay.
He's gonna be a big star.
Really? Is
100%.
that what kind of music is it? Is he rapping or is he singing?
He could do everything, but like singing, pop, R&B, soul.
That's crazy.
Some cool shit.
You don't feel limited to just rappers?
Hell no. I was in the studio with Ozuna last night.
Really? Is that hard for you to adapt to like a totally different sound like that?
Well, I can't speak like
yeah.
Spanish. I'm from Canada.
That's
so
problem number one.
That's a little, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But no, it's cool though. I like it. I like being outside the box, you know, like just grinding like that.
That whole like Latin type sound that everybody kind of fucks with now.
That shit's going crazy.
Is that hard for you to like get into that mind state of making those kind of beats?
It's definitely like anything I do outside of like trap music, it's like I gotta like mentally, all right, I'm about to do this.
Right.
Go in and do it. So, but we were doing like rap shit, and then like we started like cooking up some like Latin shit too.
That's what's up.
It was dope though.
Yeah.
It was a fire.
My girlfriend was really pissed last night watching the video that you put out with Pump and Sheck West. She's like
mad?
She's like, they're stealing people's prized possessions. They're just like walking up to people and taking their babies and their stuff. I'm like, I wasn't thinking about it that way.
It was, everything was bought. We bought it,
but it's like, why are you like buying a baby?
Hey man, look at this video was for fun. It was not no fucking human trafficking shit. I've been seeing all that shit, people saying that shit. That
didn't
baby,
occur to me
that
like
baby
that at
was
all.
happy. That baby was a happy baby.
I thought it was funny too, and then my girlfriend started saying that shit. I'm like, God damn, you just completely changed the way that I'm thinking about this video.
Yeah, go check out that video. You know what I'm saying? The shopping spree video.
Yeah.
Young Murda featuring Sheck West and Lil Pump. It's a great video of the year.
Not about human trafficking.
Most humorous rap video this year.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was fun, man.
How did that song come together, and how did you know that was the one?
I pulled up at Pump's house like a few months ago, and we were just cooking up, and that's one of the songs we made. And I posted a little snippet on Instagram, and like Sheck like commented, so I hit him up. I'm like, you want to hop on the record? He's like, hell yeah. So I sent him the beat. He got on it.
That's official.
And then we put it out. It was just like kind of quick.
It's hard to get Pump to do anything too. So that's impressive.
Shout out Pump, man. That's my brother though. I love him. He's a good kid.
That's fire. Yeah, because I remember the night I met you. We were in the studio, and that's that night that Pump made 1, 2, 3.
Perp.
Sorry.
That's when I met you?
Yeah, I think.
That was crazy.
I think I've only been around you 2 times, and that was the first time.
We were at DJ Khaled's birthday party.
Uh-huh.
That might have been the last time I saw Nip too.
Really?
Happy belated to Nip, yeah, at that party. But then I took Perp to that party, and then we went to the studio right after, and we made 1, 2, 3.
Right.
And we had like a whole little party vibe in the studio and shit.
Yeah. No, it was a fucking party.
And that's when I was like, yo, I like your vibe, because you were setting, like, it was like a good vibe.
Yeah.
And we were like killing it and shit. I'm like, yo, I fuck with you, man.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Me and Perp were getting fucked up that night. We were a little too fucked up. I was hungover for days.
I was fucked up too. Fuck it. This is the life. Bad. This is the life we chose, man. Rockstar lifestyle.
But have you changed up your lifestyle?
Yep.
You got totally sober or just mostly?
I'm sober. I drink a little bit.
Okay. Because I'm not gonna lie to you. During that time period, you were drunk as fuck, like a lot.
I still get drunk as fuck. I get really drunk. I think I can outdrink anybody.
Based on what I've seen, I wouldn't be surprised. And it's
but like, I'm not an alcoholic.
Yeah.
You know.
You don't feel like you ever were?
No.
Okay.
Never. I don't know. Like when I used to smoke weed and shit. Like hell yeah, I smoke weed all the time.
You feel like the weed was bad for you?
No, it started making me like anxious all the time. Started getting anxiety, and then I got like too high at Coachella, and just like took a break, and then just like never got back into it. Cause I would always like get a little anxiety from smoking weed. So I was like, man, why do I keep smoking weed?
Right.
You know?
Were you too high like on stage, or was it after you had already done what you had to do?
I wasn't on stage. I was on stage this Coachella. That year I was just like,
oh, you're just chilling,
having fun.
So at least you were free to get too fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was fun.
Damn. How did that Perp project, like, how did you become such a big part of that one in particular?
So I found Perp's music on SoundCloud, and I was like, this kid's fire. Like, he was dropping records and shit. I forget like exactly which ones, but I was like, damn, this is fire. And then ended up the one day I was working in New York at Jungle City, and he was in the room next to me. So I went over and I said what up to him. Gave him some beats, and then he said he was gonna be there the next day. I pulled up on him the next day. He played them. They're fire. I love the songs. And then like 6 months later or something, we like reconnected, and then just decided like, yo, we should do an album. And we started locking in the studio, making records. We made like 1, 2, 3. We made like a couple more and shit. Like, yo, we should just bang on an album. That's what we did.
That easy.
Just having fun, just making music, you know.
Yeah.
That's like how music should be made, you know. Because I feel like a lot of music is like forced and a lot of shit.
Do you ever feel like there are forces within the music industry that are kind of pulling you away from what you originally loved about it and sort of getting you more into that fucking corporate mentality?
Everything that's not music. I feel like most people in the music, it's like if you don't make it, it's gonna try to pull you away from what you do, because everyone's trying to get a check and get a bag, so they're gonna try to pull you this way, do this, do that, do this, do that. And the moment that you're doing shit that you don't want to do, it becomes a job, and I don't like that shit, you know.
Yeah.
I do shit sometimes that like I wouldn't like love to do, but I'll do it because like, or maybe it's like I don't like to do it, and like someone like my manager will tell me it's good for me, and then it ends up being good for me, you know.
Yeah. It's crazy because like your whole success as a producer is really predicated on the whole entire concept of you just like working constantly, always being in the studio. But then there's all these like pressures and different forces that are trying to get you to be in the club, to be going and doing all these different things all the time too. It's like, you ever feel like you got a little too far away from that sort of like nerd mentality of just having to be in the studio constantly?
Yeah, I feel like the last like 6 months I got away from it a little bit, but I'm definitely back in my bag, because you got to understand, like when you're coming up and in those beginning stages, all you got to do is make music, focus on getting better and get your shit out there. Now it's like when you like, I'm at a point where it's like there's more of a brand, and like I'm DJing, and there's like you do press and you do this and that, and it's meetings and there's opportunities, and you know what I'm saying, you got to do, it's a different grind, it's a different hustle. And that's the kind of hustle when you like you get a bigger team, you hire more staff, you get more people, like you got a label, you're CEO, like you know what I'm saying, you got contracts, you got people signed to you, that's your responsibility, so it's more responsibilities. It's not just you trying to make it, it's like now everyone, like, you know what I'm saying, everyone's eating and everyone's got to eat, and I'm gonna make sure everyone eats, you know?
Yeah. Does it ever feel like pressure, just having to like not just worry about yourself, you got to worry about the team as well?
A lot of pressure, but pressure makes diamonds.
There you go.
And I like diamonds.
Bars.
You know
you do, huh? You got a nice little jewelry collection.
Yeah, I like it. It's cool.
You don't go too crazy.
But diamonds make pressure.
See?
Diamonds make pressure, because then when people see you got diamonds and shit, that causes pressure. Then now it's like, oh shit, he's on. Now you got to maintain.
I'm smoking pressure.
There you go. Me. Fuck it.
You never gone too crazy with the jewelry thing?
I'm like done with jewelry.
You're done with it.
I keep saying that.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, it's a bad habit.
And it's
definitely the worst habit. And I was around the Migos, and these guys are buying the biggest chains since fucking,
and constantly changing it up and replacing them.
It just like, that's the first thing when I'm back in the day when I started like going on the road with them, going to a couple shows, I'm like, man, I need to buy a chain. Everyone has a chain. I buy myself a little gold chain. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
When you're competing with them and Future and Thug
I'm not
shit,
competing with
like,
nobody.
You definitely don't want to be competing with dudes like that who have like unlimited resources to just ball out.
I like jewelry. You know what I'm saying? Like I like how it's made. Like every watch, it's like it's handmade. Like someone builds the machinery and stuff. Like it's cool. You know?
Definitely.
It's not like a Toyota. It's definitely like a Rolls Royce.
You got anything that you really blow your money on?
Jewelry.
That's the main thing. You don't got like a car
collection?
Clothes.
Cars a little bit, not really. Yeah, kind of. I don't know.
You go too hard with the clothes?
Well, I don't go too hard on clothes, but like you have to keep up with your wardrobe. You know what I'm saying? Like just doing new shit, doing this, doing that, being on stage. You always have to update.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people update every day, every week. I do like every couple times a month, maybe some shit.
Just go shopping, keep it updated. Your gram will get boring otherwise.
Not even just being out, I don't like wearing shit too much.
Yeah.
I'll definitely wear shit twice. If I like the fit, I'll just rock it for like a week, you know what I'm saying, and just not wear it, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah. It's kind of always like a decision, because it's like, dude, my accountant told me, he's like, I've honestly never seen a public figure who spends less money on clothes than you. I'm like, man, honestly, that's a big honor that you just said that to me. Because I just always wear our own shirts, or people give me shit. It's like,
I want to wear my own shit, but I feel like every time we get some fucking merch, everyone else gets it. I don't get it.
Really?
Every time.
Wow.
Every time. These guys are always wearing the merch, giving merch away. I never have my own merch.
You gotta get a loss prevention agent on your team.
Real shit. It's going missing. People are reselling my shit in the back of my crib or some shit.
That could really be happening.
Shit.
That's fucked up. Where you spend most of your time now?
LA.
Always LA? That's what's up.
Look at you guys don't understand how much of a blessing it is to be be working in America and just being American, because being Canadian, being somewhere else, like you got to deal with a lot of shit. Like you got to deal with getting a work visa. If you don't have one and they catch you, you're gonna get banned from America till you get one. And then it's like you can only spend 6 months out of your year in America, and I'm spending way more than that. So now I'm gonna depart Canada.
But is your whole
I have to depart Canada, like pay an exit tax, like it's crazy.
Really?
It's fucked up.
That's insane. I didn't know. I would have thought your shit would be like taken care of, just because you.
Why?
I mean, you've done so well for yourself. It's like, why wouldn't they want to have you here?
But but me coming here is taking a job away from an American. That's how they see it.
In theory.
And then it's like paying taxes in certain places. So it's like.
Oh, there's poor American producers that can't get their beats off. You poor guys.
Come sign to death row. You know what I'm saying? We'll get you right over here. No, I'm just Murda gang shit.
You could definitely have a Suge Knight vibe at some point in your career. You think?
Nah.
You just like running around
I'm
like that,
I'm a nice
intimidating
guy.
motherfuckers.
I'm a nice guy.
Yeah, you are.
And I'm gonna make sure everyone around me is good. You know what I'm saying?
What's your dating life like right now?
I'm chilling.
Yeah.
You know?
Have you been in anything serious at various points? I've seen you linked to some celebrities. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah. You know, I'm still kind of like linked to something low key.
Okay.
You know?
Right. But low key, like
I think so.
High key, low key.
I think so. It's like low key.
Is that weird? Like dating girls that like grew up around all this shit when you came from the fucking mud out there in Canada?
No, not really. I don't know.
I meet these fucking uppity ass LA girls, and I don't know what the fuck to say to them because they grew up out here. It's
LA
just
girls
weird.
are bougie.
Yeah, I don't know how
I
to
don't
fucking
know.
talk to them.
LA girls are bougie. I don't know.
I like angry ass East Coast girls normally. Well,
East
my
Coast.
girl's from out here, but she's Armenian, so she grew up in like an ethnic community. So like,
I like all types of girls.
yeah, that's what's up.
That's how I feel.
How you feel about industry plants?
What?
How you feel about industry plants?
Industry plans?
Is it a problem?
It's
Is it a real thing?
It's part of the industry. I just feel like when someone blows up and they get a buzz, just like and then they sign a deal, they're just gonna put the bag behind them.
Nowadays, the labels are so on alert for talent that it's like it's easy to become an industry plant because chances are the label's gonna figure out you got talent before the fans just start blowing your songs up. You know?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. That's part of the game. I don't know. The labels like control a lot of shit. You know, it's hard to stay independent. So once you get that independent buzz, you're gonna end up signing a deal. Then if you got that buzz, they're just gonna blow you up.
It's just so different.
No one really like all that industry plant. Like I don't know. No one's really just like signing people and blowing them up and shit. I don't know.
Right.
Or like coming from literally nothing, signing and then making it all.
I feel like there's a lot of failed industry plants out there. Like the labels are trying it all the time, and it doesn't work very often.
No, the problem right now is labels are signing shit too early. And then that's what the label does. They'll sign a kid too early for this little bag, and then like expect you to do it. So then it's like a win for them.
Yeah.
You know. And if it's a loss, it's whatever. One of the other 20 kids will make it and make the money back.
Right. And it's just such a different mentality than it was a couple of years ago, because a couple of years ago, somebody like X or Pump or whatever who had like little bidding wars going on for their services, it's like they would have got signed so fucking early because they wouldn't have really been able to sort of like develop privately without at some point somebody being on top of that shit, you know?
No, that's some real shit though.
They would have figured it out. I did want to ask about Fifi before we wrap. How the hell did that song come about? That's a huge song with like such a weird history to it now at this point.
Yeah, that's just I made the beat in LA in my kitchen, on my kitchen table. And I thought it was like an anthem for Drake. I sent it to Drake. Got no response. I was like, all right. And then
Fuck you.
Nah, and then I went to I went to New York, and we were in New York, and like one of the guys I was with in New York was like, yo, like you should do something with 6ix9ine. And I wasn't like really like a fan of his music, but they're like, yo, let's do it. I'm like, all right, I'll just do it. Just fuck it, have him pull up, whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it'll definitely be like an experience. Like, I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. And then he pulled up, and then that was one of the beats that he was fucking with. We made Fifi that night. And then Nicki really fucks with me, so then she somehow got on it. Like, I don't know, she really fucks with me, so she felt like I was co-signing 6ix9ine, so then she got on the record,
So
and that shit went huge.
That's crazy because everybody was so surprised to see her working with 6ix9ine, but you were kind of the in there.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And then it became
Nicki really fucks with me. Shout out to Nicki.
like one of her biggest songs in years. Huge fucking massive song. Probably one of your biggest songs too, for sure, right?
100%.
That's crazy. That must have been
That
a
song
wild
was
ride.
huge. No one expected
Huge.
that song to be that big.
Yeah.
That shit went crazy. But see, 6ix9ine, the way he was promoting songs on Instagram and shit, like with little snippets, and then like, cause like you gotta understand, when you're an artist and you post a snippet, even like with 123, like when you post a snippet of a song and the snippet goes viral, you're making the song a hit before it comes out. Then when the song comes out, it's like boom, it's just like a hit, you know?
Yeah.
People are waiting for it.
There's been times where I've seen people mistime it, like hype a snippet up too much, and then by the time the song comes out, nobody cares. But when it works, it could be like super good. And 6ix9ine was the god of that shit.
Nah, he was, and that's what kind of happened with 123 with me and Perp. We like posted it like that night when we made it, and then like months went by, and then like we posted it again,
Yeah.
and then it went viral again, and then we dropped the song.
That's funny because I remember I was on that too, where I had it and I kept kind of like just playing in the background on Snapchats and shit, just fucking with people, and I was getting hit up nonstop about that fucking song constantly.
And then it started to slow up when we were about to drop it, so we re-dropped the snippet, and it went viral again. It was crazy.
It's weird how people sometimes gravitate more towards the leaks and the snippets than they do to the final product. Like it can somehow make them more excited about a song just because they know it's not supposed to be out.
Nah, that's some real shit.
That's wild.
I know people are out here hacking shit, leaking shit. I don't know.
Really? You get those emails like somebody's trying to sign into your Gmail in fucking Czechoslovakia?
Got one like 2 weeks ago. Someone was trying to hack everything.
Yeah.
One time, I'll never forget. Yeah, like last year, I was like on my phone and it popped up. Someone was on my iCloud in Moscow. I was like, damn. Changed all my shit. Put the 2-step authentication on everything.
You need that.
And then I think after you do that, you're straight though.
Yeah, 2-step is very, very big unless they really get you with some smart shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. What have you been working on lately that you're excited about?
My own stuff, Migos, a little bit of Drake.
You on that Quality Control album?
Yeah,
Oh,
I did
okay.
I did a song with Mango Fu and Offset.
Nice.
Get 'em in, and then I did Pastor with Quavo, Meg Thee Stallion, and City Girls.
Oh, hell yeah. I only listened to it a little bit last night. I gotta get back into it.
Thug's album's fire.
Thug album I listened to 3 times already. That's
Thug shit's
amazing.
fire.
Yeah.
Thug shit's fire. Working on a lot of stuff. I don't know. It's like a lot of different shit. All like the typical rap stuff.
That's what's
And then
up.
I'm going on tour with ASAP Ferg and Made in Tokyo, November and December.
Really?
That's gonna be a crazy tour.
That's exciting. What do you like? You as a person, what do you feel like you're getting out of going on tour as opposed to just being at home working on music? Like, do you just yearn for like actually getting out there and traveling, or is it straight up like a business decision, or how's that work in your mind?
Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, just being in the crib all the time, you get comfortable too, right? You sit there, you just get lazy and shit. So it's good to just be on the road, get back into that vibe. And then just being in front of people, building my brand. You know what I'm saying? You gain fans every show.
Definitely.
And those are like, you're going to gain some diehard fans that are going to buy your music and really support you, you know?
Yeah.
So, and then making music on the road.
Oh, you do get
like,
to
you know what I'm
studio,
saying? Me
yeah.
and Ferg probably going to make a whole album like before tour on the road. And then me and Tokyo going to make some shit too.
You record on the bus?
Yeah, make beats on the bus and shit.
You don't ever get studio space while you're on the road, or does that happen sometimes?
It's not really.
Too much traveling?
It's rare, yeah. If you get a couple days off, maybe, but it's just like city to city,
Yeah.
you know?
Dude, you don't want to get on the Juice WRLD program where he's gotten so used to just fucking recording all night and then catching the jet in the morning because he's like he'll just get so into the session recording and then he's like, fuck it, we'll just take the jet.
I did one session with Juice WRLD like a week before he signed his deal, and we did like 14 songs in one session.
Sounds about right.
Crazy.
Insane. I mean, they call him an industry plant.
I don't know. I feel like he just had a buzz. He buzzed, and then he signed, and then he had a big song, and what are you going to do? You're going to put the money behind the song. Like,
Yeah. The problem is just that the fans found out that Juice WRLD was fire at the same exact time that all the labels did. So it's like he already had songs that were blowing up, but they were like 50, 100,000 plays or some shit.
I found out about Juice WRLD when he dropped the All Girls Are the Same video
Oh yeah, that was
with Cole Bennett.
that was when it was the like,
When he dropped that shit, I was like, damn, it's just fire.
Yeah.
Like, damn, all girls really are the same.
The day I met Juice WRLD, like he leaves and then Cole Bennett came and we were hanging out and I just said, I'm like, yo, you heard Juice WRLD? He's like, oh yeah, I'm about to do his first video. I'm like, it's over. It's going down.
I feel that.
As soon as you get a Cole video and a No Jumper interview, to be honest, it doesn't mean it's a sure thing. It just means that if it's gonna happen, it's probably gonna happen now. Because this is you're in front of a lot of eyeballs right now.
Yeah.
You on that TJX6 wave?
I was actually gonna watch his interview.
It's good.
I was gonna watch it
The music is fucking ridiculous.
because you said
and
he
the
like
interview's even
exposed a
better.
bunch of shit or something.
I mean, he just talks about everything that there is to talk about in terms
I was
of
gonna
like
watch the shit. I think I
scamming
heard a
shit.
couple songs from him though.
He's fire.
Fire.
Oh my god, if you did production for him, that would change the game.
Hey,
Just an idea.
stay tuned.
Beats on the way. Yo, I appreciate you coming through.
Nah, I know this had to happen. I know you've been hitting me up. I wanted to come. You know what I'm saying? I've been wanting to do this, so I'm glad we just did it.
I appreciate it.
Definitely do an update soon.
I got a publicist. She made it happen.
There we go.
I've been
we go.
DMing this motherfucker for like
I
months
know.
and months, and then all of a sudden I told her, I'm like, yo, give me.
Not that I wasn't gonna
Boom.
come. I was just,
Yeah, you gotta wait for
I
the
would
right
probably
time.
hit you up today.
I appreciate it. Because the other time they came here, remember we went paintballing together? with Perp? The other time, like the time that you came here and started making a beat here?
Oh,
then
the
we
laser tag shit.
Oh, laser tag. That's what, yeah. I would remember if I got hit with paintballs.
That's what I was thinking too. I didn't get hit with a paintball that day.
That was weird. There's that funny ass photo of me, you, and Perp, and we're all wearing the laser tag.
I beat everyone
shit.
in laser tag. I killed everyone that day too.
Did
I
you?
remember that.
I remember that shit being so confusing. I thought it was gonna be totally different. You just have like a score at the end. People are just standing in place, just like racking up on you and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
That shit was fun though.
Yeah, it was cool. All right, man. I appreciate you coming through.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me.
It's big for Canada too. Shout
Huge
out to
for
all
Canada.
our Canadians.
Huge for Canada. It's
Huge.
a big one.
It's a big,
big one.
country with not a lot of
one.
people, but we love you all.
I fuck with Canada. You know what I'm saying?
Me too. Love it.
Real shit.
That's what
we
it's
got.
at.
All we got most of the best producers. I'd say.
Beautiful girls.
And we got some beautiful women, and we got some talented artists. We just got a lot of talent.
Kush.
It's our water.
I know you don't want it, but they got some good Kush out there too.
It's the water in the ocean.
Mm-hmm. There it
Or
is.
not the ocean, the lake.
The lakes as well.
I'm too used to being around oceans now, baby. You know what I'm saying?
You changed, bro. You definitely changed. You changed for sure.
Changed for the better, though.
People ever say that to you, though? You changed. Like, duh.
But it's like, you don't change those. The way people treat you, they change.
Right.
Because they look at you differently.
Yeah.
So whenever someone says you changed, then no, fuck you, you changed.
But
What the
also,
fuck?
it's just, we just changed. It's like, you know,
Yeah, you know,
I used to be happy
I'm
eating the
always
shitty ass
growing.
food.
I'm always growing, getting better personally and shit.
Yeah.
Always.
I used to think that going to fucking Fridays was a nice meal. I changed. I just figured out that it wasn't a good meal anymore. No offense to Fridays if anyone works out there or whatever.
No, real shit. My manager, my mom, my girl, my boys, anyone's gonna always push me to become a better person, you know? That's what I always do.
Yeah. When you lose that, that's when
Because a
shit
lot
get
of people in the
complicated.
industry, bro, you be seeing people, they don't give a fuck. They'll just run you to the ground and just like, you know what I'm saying? You could have been doing something a little different that could help your whole career. Because literally in this game, one thing can fuck up everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? One thing can make everyone just not want to fuck with you.
Yeah.
Ban you like Gucci.
That's
like
a good point.
You know what I'm saying?
They tried to ban him.
Tried to ban Russ too.
Russ.
Tried to ban Russ for a long time.
You can't stop Russ.
Hey, shout out to Russ though, real shit. He makes some fire music.
Russ is
He's selling out crazy shows and shit.
Russ is more proof that anybody can do it.
Than me?
No, just that anybody can do it. Like he just fucking made it in a way where he like had almost no like industry support, like barely any like media fucking with
And
him
he's got
and
like
shit.
a real deal fan base too and shit. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
Exactly.
That's the one thing that people don't realize. Like being like what I do. I make like the music we make and shit. Like we listen to, or like critique.
Yeah.
Or,
I listen to it.
Yeah.
Wait, you think I don't listen to rap
No,
music?
but
I
look
go
at-
home and listen
so,
to the
like, look
Beatles.
at the music we make, like we're like in like this like bubble of like only really like knowing this and caring about this music. But like, bro, there's like I just did some music with like this Japanese group called Bad Hop. Like they're like the biggest like rap group coming up in Japan. Like
Really?
in Japan, there's like crazy demographic with even more musicians and people and fans and stuff. Like we got to touch all that shit. We can't just be national trying to get fans in LA and in America and in Canada. We need to go everywhere.
There's a lot. I was just in England for a couple weeks. There's so many good ass English rappers that are
The
fire.
UK rappers are amazing.
They're
They're all fire.
One of these days, it's gonna break through out here. It's gonna be like the girl rappers, where there was just always like Nicki Minaj, and she was like the queen
I feel like
of
the
it.
next superstar rapper is going to be from the UK.
It could totally happen.
Real shit.
It's gonna be crazy, scary.
Like superstar, like a Drake level or something. It's definitely going to be like a UK rapper.
I could see it.
They're so talented over there, you know?
That's so true.
And like the UK and Canada is like very like similar in a lot of ways.
Because once they would let one through, like one UK dude,
Like
Those are gonna be a whole rush.
Skepta's fire.
Skepta is so fucking good.
He's super talented, makes his own beats and shit. Like he's super fire. Gigs, like everybody, Section Boys.
I feel like we're gonna end up looking back on Skepta and gigs and shit and be like, they were too early for what might be coming in terms of like UK rap
100%.
really kind of conquering.
100%.
Because that
But they
Skepta
paved
is
the way
so
then.
good.
So,
So
you know
good.
what I'm saying? It
They
won't be
paved the
too
way
early.
for
They
sure.
paved the way.
Yeah, they're living good for sure. Murda Beatz, my man, appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Murda Beatz, no jumper, coolest podcast in the world. Check us out on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Go check out that new music, you know what I'm saying? Shopping Spree. Go watch the videos. The funniest video you will watch. I guarantee you will shed a tear and cry.
Let us know if Lena the Plug was
Guarantee.
wrong about it.
I guarantee.
She was offended, but you're gonna love it. Appreciate y'all.